Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a bracelet using hemp cord, beads, scissors, and a little glue. And you don't need a clasp. I'm going to show you how to make your own using beads and the hemp cord. So, let's see here. Alright, so what you want to do is take the end of the cord and tie a knot. Alright, so you want to loop at the end. So you tie this knot and grab a bead. Before you pull it tight, grab a bead and make sure that the bead will fit through the loop, because this is going to be your clasp. So the bead fits through the loop. But you don't want it too much bigger than the bead. So this size should be nice. So this bead will be my clasp. And what I'll do is I'll thread my beads onto the cord, and then this bead will be last, and you'll pull it through in order to make the clasp. And I'll show you that when we get to the end of the bracelet. So the glue essentially is just to add just a dab to the knots to make sure they don't come undone, because sometimes knots can come undone on you. So this is super glue. I'm going to just take a dab. Okay. So let that dry. It tends to soak in. Anyway. So that is all the glue is for, is just to keep the knots from coming undone. This hemp cord, by the way, I got it at Dollar General. It's only a few dollars. And these beads that I'm going to use, I got at Walmart. I don't remember how much I paid. $5, maybe $7, I'm not sure. Okay, so now you take the cord with your loop and make sure you have a piece large enough to wrap around your wrist, plus a little extra for tying. So I'm going to use about this much for tying a knot at the end. So that should do it. A little bit extra there. And now I'm going to take my beads, and I'm just going to thread on my beads. And you can use whatever beads you like. Oh, let me see here. Yeah, so what I have here is a problem that you might run into is the if you take a bead and run it through to the end, it can go over the knot. Well, this bead won't, so I'll just use it. But the you might have to use one of your smaller beads as your first bead to make sure that it won't slip over the knot at the end of your cord here. So that bead works perfect. I got lucky there and grabbed just the right bead. So I'm just going to thread some beads on here. This was the bead I started to stick on at the as the first bead, and it was large enough to go over the knot. So that's why I can't use that as the first bead. Okay, so at some point take and wrap it around your wrist as best you can to judge the size of your. So let's see. Try this again. This is a little bit awkward. Okay, it looks like it needs to be a little longer. Here is a little angel. I think I'll thread that on. Okay, check this out again. Okay, I think that's large enough. Because you have to leave enough room for one bead, and you have to remember that the loop takes room too. So, here's the bead that I'm going to use for my clasp. Now I'm going to wrap this around, come and tie a knot here. So you want this to be, what you don't want is this gap here, so try to remove that before you double knot it. Okay, so that's nice and snug. A little bit of leeway can be nice, so you don't have to have it too snug, but just a small gap is probably ideal. So double knot, then take your glue and apply just a little dab to the knot. I suppose you could use Elmer's glue if you're willing to wait for it to dry. Super glue dries real quick and it's real convenient, so that's what I use. Okay, so this is my finished bracelet, and I'll show you how it works. So slide that over there through the loop. You do have a little bit of gap there, so you don't want this loop to be too huge because it will enlarge the gap. But if it's larger, it is easier to get the bead through. I've made them a little too snug in the past and had real trouble getting the bead through the loop. So anyway, I'll show you with just the one. You put that on it, rotate it so this is on the underside, and there you have it. A finished bracelet. No clasp needed. Make your own. Thanks for watching.